Hey, I'm Sean for the Rusty Shovel, and this video is going to be your instruction for installing your manifold and valve box, and this is going to cover off the Dura brand manifolds. Okay, so what you're going to do is, so you've got coming down from your house. In most applications, you're going to have your house connection where you're going to have your pipe stuck onto the bottom here, and you're going to tighten that up with a clamp, and then that's going to come down in most cases into an elbow at the bottom, or you're just going to bend that pipe into your manifold to feed your manifold. So what you're going to do is from your house connection, you're going to come down into your elbow and straight over into your manifold. So this manifold system, how it works, this is the Dura brand manifold, and basically it's all put together with swivel joints. So as you can see here, these just turn, and what that does is makes it really easy for service. So if you've ever got a faulty valve, which is always the weakest part of the system, is the valve. So if you're going to have problems with the sprinkler system, it's going to be with the valve. So you want to make it easy to be able to service this valve. So if you've got a solid PVC manifold put together, basically what you're going to have to do in that case is rip the whole manifold out if you've got a valve problem. Whereas with these, all you do is just swivel this, pop the valve out, put a new one in, and you're good to go. So it's going to save you a lot of headache down the road. And basically what they've got is O-rings, rubber O-rings here, that's going to alleviate the need to have to tape your tape all the threads. So it makes it a lot quicker for installation. So from your feed, from your house connection, you're going to want to bring that down into the ground so that this valve box is going to be able to sit level. You don't want this thing sticking out of the ground. What you want is it to be just sitting level with the ground, so you could, drive over with a lawnmower or whatever. So, and contrary to popular belief, you're not going to have to drill holes out of here to get your pipes to come out. The pipes are going to run underneath of the valve box from your valves. So basically, you're going to have your valves sitting like this, and your pipes are all going to be running underneath. And this valve box, it's got a cover on it, so it's going to be able to allow you to get access to the valves. So what you're going to want to do is, there's two options for supporting this. You're going to want to dig a hole and then cover the base of that with some rock. Try not to use crusher dust, like a kind of a 1 to 2 inch rock kind of is the best way to go. It just makes for a cleaner area around the valves. So you're either going to want to support this with bricks underneath each corner, so that there's no pressure of this sitting on the pipes, so that the pipes can just go out easily. Or the other option is, we've got a valve box platform like this, and basically what that does is it will support the valve box. So the valve box will just sit right on there, and then there's holes here that just punch out to allow the pipes to come right out. So that's a little bit of a neater installation, but if you got some bricks laying around, you can just use bricks to support that valve box as well. So the next thing is putting together this manifold. So if you've got just one manifold in a location, and you've got one or multiple house connections possibly, or just one house connection where you've got that's just feeding one valve box, you're going to have a certain number of ports and then an elbow, and you're going to, from your house connection, you're going to come down and feed into here, and put a clamp on there to hold the supply line in place. Why we like to use clamps on the pressure side is just because they're a little bit more reliable under constant pressure. This is going to be under constant pressure, so you want a good tight seal all the time. On the other side, it's not quite as critical, because it's only under pressure for half hour to 45 minutes at a time. So in the case where you've only got one, you're going to have a certain number of ports and then an elbow on the side. If you're going to connect two two manifolds together. Basically what you're going to do is have one of these barbed fittings on either side, and to connect the two manifolds together, because you can only fit 4 or 5 valves in certain these certain valve boxes, you're going to have one manifold in one box with a barb fitting on this side, and then a short piece of pipe to feed the other valve box on the other side. So next I want to get into how this goes together. Basically you're going to have a nipple here, and you're going to be able to see on one side there's going to be a rubber O-ring, and on the other side it's going to be just kind of plastic right here. So there's rubber on this side. You want the rubber side to go into the valve. Sorry, you want the rubber side to go into the valve. So the valve is actually going to have a blue lock fitting in most cases on the end of it, so you know that this is going out to your sprinkler side. This is going to be on the manifold side. There's also little arrows here right on the top to show you which direction the water flow should be going. So O-ring side to the valve, and the O-ring is going to seal against the valve. Get that nice and tight, and then your next step is to install the swivel fitting, and that swivel fitting is just going to tighten up like so, and that's all there is to it. So there's also O-rings on here as well, so that nipple is going to seal against there, so you shouldn't have any leakage. So and just hand tighten these. You don't have to worry about taking a tool to these. Just hand tight is good. So then you're going to want to go and complete that for the next number of valves.